A major new investment is bringing together Utah's venture capital strength with its growing energy infrastructure, all in an effort to build the world's largest data center campus. Pelion Ventures Partners is backing Creekstone Energy in a partnership that could reshape how the state approaches innovation in energy and compute infrastructure. Ray Conley is the CEO of Creekstone Energy, and Chris Cooper is a partner at Pelion Ventures Partners, and they are here to discuss what this means for Utah's economy, policy landscape, and the future of innovation in energy. Chris, Ray, thanks so much for spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start here. For anyone who hasn't been following this as closely as you certainly have, Ray, tell us what you're building in Delta and why Delta, and just give us the high-level view of that.
Okay, so Creekstone is building what's going to be the largest data center campus in the world for artificial intelligence. We started this over 5 years ago, even before AI was a thing, because we recognized that it was a very unique place in the world for building data centers because of abundant energy availability and abundant fiber and a state that was very business friendly. Since then, as AI has now become pervasive and all of the major AI providers are scrambling for power, not just around the country, but around the world, we found ourselves in a very unique situation where we've got 10 gigawatts or more of power that we're able to develop and bring to Utah, and then allow that to be a foundation for building the next generation of artificial intelligence.
So Chris, I want to come to you in just a second, but first, Ray, I want you to tell us why Chris is here, because this is a partnership that I think people need to know a little bit more about.
Sure. Well, we're very blessed and excited to have Pelion be a part of our team. They've recently invested in Creekstone as a part of our most recent round of financing, along with Trident Ventures. And now that Pelion's part of the Creekstone group, I just thought it was great to get together with Chris and announce how excited we are to have Pelion be part of our group.
Yeah, Chris, Pelion, mostly known for success in the software and technology investment space generally. What is it about the project in Delta, Utah, of all places, that made you think, hey, this is somewhere that we need to be involved?
Yeah, well, we've always loved infrastructure software. So software that's a little bit deeper in the stack. My partner Blake and I come out of WordPerfect and Novell, so we understand networks and infrastructure. And we like to say that we love finding businesses where you're effectively selling picks and shovels to the miners. These things that everybody needs. I don't think a few years ago we would have ever imagined that we would have an opportunity to truly do that and to play in an area of the stack that we really haven't before. So it's a really exciting opportunity.
So Ray, how does Pelion being involved help accelerate what you're trying to do down in Millard County?
There's a lot of different things that Pelion brings to the table. They're the largest venture capital firm in Utah. They have a deep set of expertise across the stack in technology. They see things on the horizon, over the horizon, before others do, because they're so early in these. And that allows us to have better situational awareness for how we do our long-term business planning. The other thing that they have is a portfolio of other complementary companies that they're able to help us do business with and advance our agenda. And I think more than anything, their reputation precedes themselves with success. And when folks recognize the depth of due diligence and rigor that they put us through to make this financial commitment, that goes a long way for helping us with all the other things we're doing.
Well, let's talk about that rigor a little bit. Obviously, you guys don't just jump in and start throwing money at projects without doing your homework. So what was it about Creekstone and about this project in particular that made you say, this is somewhere that we really need to get in and be involved?
Well, the first thing is that clearly the choke point in all of this AI build out is power. I don't think we truly appreciated the reality of that before really sort of undertaking this effort in trying to understand Creekstone and what they were doing and understanding exactly what the opportunity is. I've never met anyone who can speak to this like Ray. This is it isn't software, at least not in the way that we think about software. So we had an awful lot to learn. So some of the due diligence was probably more us trying to understand all of the intricacies of all of this. But it is an enormous opportunity. And all of the things that all of us want to see from AI will be enabled by what Ray is building.
State policymakers have tried to get ahead of the idea that we need to generate more energy, not just for like our normal population growth in Utah, but then to get ahead of what AI is going to demand. And your project seems to align very well with a number of things they want to hit on. Make sure we have reliable, affordable energy, and to make sure we have economic growth, not only in rural Utah, but statewide. I just wonder if you'd speak to that a little bit about when you find a project like this where you say, this is something that needs to happen that can benefit not only the Utah, but the United States in a lot of ways, but how does it, how nice is it when you can do that and know that you're benefiting the state of Utah as well?
Well, Governor Cox laid out his vision for Project Gigawatt a while back. And in some ways, we've dubbed our site the Giga site in Delta to honor that, because our goal is to help achieve that vision by bringing multiple gigawatts of power to Utah. If we don't do this, it's going to get done somewhere else, mostly overseas in adversarial places where we don't want to lose that advantage. So it's a benefit to Western civilization, really, for us to be successful here.
There's a patriotic element to this, that the United States needs to win the AI war.
I don't think that alternative is something we want to consider.
No. We'll wrap up with this, and Chris will come your way. Pelion has deepened its footprint in Utah's physical and energy infrastructure space with this deal. What message do you hope this investment sends to the business community and policy leaders about where venture capital is headed and focused in our state?
Yeah, well, I think we now have a tradition, a rich tradition of great software companies in the SaaS space, both vertical and horizontal software companies. We're long on Utah. Our firm is 39 years old, and there was a time, even 20 years ago, where maybe 15 or 20% of our dollars were deployed in Utah because there just wasn't the opportunity that we see now. But what we see now is an ecosystem that is durable and enduring and growing. And the amount of expertise we have in our state, whether it's engineering or whether it's on the go-to-market front, Utah is here to stay. And it is going to continue to increase in terms of its influence in both software and hardware. We're investors in a company in Utah called LiveView Technologies. If you look at their unit, it looks like a hardware company. Our attraction to that company was what they were doing in the software and the firmware and the spaces that we understand better, but it's enabled by really clever hardware. So AI, I think, is similar. We have tended to look at it from an application level point of view, but none of that happens if you don't have that infrastructure, beginning with power. And this data center opportunity that exists out in Delta is, there are very few places on Earth where something like this can happen. So it's really exciting for our state.
Chris Cooper from Pelion, Ray Conley from Creekstone Energy, thanks so much for your insight today.
Thank you.
And thank you for the support.
Our honor.